as people continue to roll in, let's get started. I want to, again, if there's some folks who need to tune in, please tag them, and you can go ahead and do that. After a bit of a chat here, we are going to do a Q&A and dive into the topics that you shared. So please make sure you write your questions in the topics. Oh, there's my dad. Hello. Hi, Maria. Oh my gosh, so nice to see you. This is so great, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get started. Just over a month ago, I think we'll never forget, we're here now rolling into March 12th is a day that's forever burned in my brain. And I remember picturing myself in the eye of a perfect storm. Businesses are scrambling about me. It's just sheer, utter chaos. And I see people holding their faces in the palms of their hands and shaking their heads and looking up to a higher power, asking themselves, what do I do? Will my business survive this? Will my family survive this? I see people as I'm in the center of this eye of the storm, just rushing and swirling and trying to make sense of this madness, of the storm, this pandemic storm that we are all still in. And then I'm a very visual person when I'm trying to work through a conflict or a problem. So I'm sharing this with you all right now. And then I see images of question marks swirling around me like a teacup ride at an amusement park. And amidst all of this, everybody, I'm calm. My vision is clear. I'm focused. And I say to myself, the show must go on. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. My name is Rowena Cui, COO and co-founder of Planet Sound, and I do that business so well with my husband and business partner, RJ. Shout out to him and my two boys, Red and Gray, who are tuning in. Planet Sound is a local production company based out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and we've been producing anthems, videos, and events for over 10 years, and we're thrilled to be here today, to be a part of this community. We are here to celebrate all these awesome local Edmontonians through the Creative Hive, through these live sessions. Big thanks and shout out to Des and Mike from the Creative Hive for having me and having so many awesome Edmontonians doing these Facebook Lives. Many of these folks are my mentors. There are people I go to for advice and people that we can all learn from and take some good knowledge every session. So thank you. Can we share a heart for the Creative Hive team and show our love for them, for Des and Mike? Thank you so much for bringing us creatives together. I'd love to see some hearts. Hearts for Des. Yay! I love that. So sweet. Thank you so much. I'm going to share this broadcast for my personal page right now too. Oh, thank you for the love. I hope you feel it, Des and Mike. Everyone's sending you guys love. So I'm going to share this for my personal page right now. And while I'm doing this, if you can all please comment where you're from, your business, your employer. If you have a question that you'd like to be covered in this, The Show Must Go On Facebook Live, please write it in the comment section below. And then share this Facebook Live. Like the Creative Hive Facebook page and tag your friends. Oh, thanks, Kals. You're welcome, Creative Hive. We love you. So before we dive in, just want to say thanks again for those of you who commented on my social posts, the Creative Hives, who sent me text messages, direct messages, for coming up with some great topics to curate our live today. Really, really appreciate that. So before we get into your questions, I want to share a story with you. I was on a call last fall with a client. And as we were in the midst of navigating an extremely stressful situation with her event, we were going over our options, we're weighing out the pros and cons as we needed to activate a plan of action. And of course, every planner has been in this situation. It's Friday afternoon, businesses are closing, people are going away for the long weekend. It was Thanksgiving, and my stress level is to the nth degree. I'm like perspiring, I'm sweating as I'm even reliving this moment. But as event professionals, we are there to deliver. We are there for our clients, and we are GSD kind of people. That's get-ish done. We get it done. We're tenacious, ensuring that we are delivering on this event and finding a solution. And I needed to find a solution by 4 p.m. on this Friday. So in this conversation, I remember pretty vividly, I'm parked along the side of the street in a residential street, and it's rush hour traffic. It was hot. It was a warm fall day, but I didn't want to. My client, she has a very beautiful soft tone voice, and I didn't want to disrupt her flow of our conversation by having the AC blowing. I couldn't roll down the windows because then she'd hear the traffic and rush hour, and I needed to focus. I needed to hone in. We were troubleshooting, problem solving. We needed to come up with a solution in that moment. I'm also frantically taking notes. I'm sneakily eating a snack throughout our call. I didn't have any food or drink all day. And again, as for you event professionals, give a thumbs up. You know what it's like to be in these situations. It's crunch time. It's game time. We need to come up with a solution. So I recap our options. I feel like we've come up with a thorough, detailed plan. And I turned to her. I turned to my client, and I'm waiting for her approval. And she paused and said, "Do you know who Billie Jean King is?" And I said, "No." And I said, "But tell me, I'm intrigued." So this client proceeded to share this beautiful story about this woman and how she's a legendary tennis player. And then she said to me, "Rowena, pressure is a privilege." In this moment, I immediately got the shock of uplifting energy as I knew what she meant by this. I got this. I always got this. Pressure is an opportunity for us to unleash the champion we know we can be, to rise above, to lean into this pressure and to accept it and to own it as a privilege. I needed to hear that. And this is the beauty of the work that we do as event professionals is we invest so much in not just the event, but the relationships with our clients and the people that we produce these shows for. And we're in it. We're all in it. And so when we need to be lifted up in those moments with, as we do for our clients, they do it for us. It's a mutually beneficial, beautiful relationship. So out of that moment, and then I look back, I look forward as to where we're at right now in this pandemic. We're living in this historic moment. There's 3 things that have helped me be the calm in the eye of this pandemic storm. Number 1, start with empathy. Days after it was announced in our province that no social gatherings or events over 250 people could no longer happen because we needed to keep people safe. We needed to stop the spread of COVID-19. I do what any event professional would do. You call on your village. You call on your family. Again, GSD, we got to find a solution. I reached out to dear friends, Alana Williams. If you're on here or watch it after, I want to say thank you so much. And Chris Henderson. They are both from Y Station Communications here in Edmonton. And Chris came out and did a webinar with ILEA, ILEA Edmonton chapter. I'm the vice president of membership there, and ILEA is the International Live Events Association. And we produced a webinar. I feel like we did it in about 12 hours. We put that together. So shout out to Nella and also Jody, in case you're tuning in, of all of us putting that webinar together. And we wanted to give a solution to the events industry and say, okay, here are the first steps to coming up with a crisis communications plan. And all the tech and behind the scenes to do this, we're like, shoots, here we are. We're being plunged and plummeted into virtual events. Invert 720, Justin, I know you're on here. Please give a thumbs up. They also helped with this broadcast. So we hosted this webinar, and when Chris began his presentation by telling us, okay, so we're all diving in. This is not step number 1, the most critical step of building a crisis communications plan or a crisis communication strategy is you need to show empathy. You need to be there for your clients. Business aside, throw the rule book out the window, put the contracts, money matters aside. Right now, we need to be there for each other. As humans, we need to connect. We need to take care of each other. And in that moment, sorry, you can hear the fire. So there's something going on. Hope they're okay. We'll let that pass. Hi, Renee. Okay. In that moment, showing empathy, you got to be there for your clients. I remember that day, March 12th, when we got that news of no social gatherings, over 250 people. The first thing my husband and I did was reach out to our clients, reach out to everybody and say, okay, let's meet face to face. Let's get on the phone. And yeah, we'll figure out your event situation, but let's do a check-in. Let's have a huddle. How are you doing? How's your family? What can I do for you? Generally offer ways that you can help them, ways that you can lift them during these uncertain times. Show that you care. Because when you do this, the business will follow, because you've proven that you care about them first. You care about them as a person more than what they can offer or give you as a staff, a subcontractor, a supplier, or a vendor. You show how much you value your relationship with them. And in return, they will always take care of you. They'll take care of your business. You'll become a source of value, a source of strength, someone they're going to lean on and need to come up with extraordinary, innovative solutions during this extraordinary time. Number 2, take a solution-focused approach. I need to give a shout out, and my husband, I'm sure, knows what I'm going to say, Chimo Youth Retreat Center. They were my last employer before I took the plunge and built Planet Sound over 10 years ago. And what I took from them was how I've built and cultivated our business, our brand, and how we invest in the relationships with our clients and our events and our marketing community. And that's, you focus on solutions. You don't focus on the problems. You focus on the solutions, and you build on your strengths, what you're already good at. And you take those strengths and your talents and you design adaptable, innovative, evolving solutions for your business and for your clients. Virtual events aren't new. For those of us working and living in the events industry, they're not new. Planet Sound, we produced our first virtual event nearly 8 years ago. So this was before you were born, Red and Gray. And during this pandemic, virtual events have become top of mind. They have become a risk-averse, immediate, turnkey solution for our clients. This is the time, everybody. This is the time to think innovatively and work within the resources you have. We also have a virtual solution for charitable runs and walks where people can participate virtually while practicing social distancing, and charities are still able to fundraise during this time. While virtual events were by no means Planet Sound's bread and butter before the pandemic, right now it's become a go-to solution that we've been able to seamlessly reposition our business towards, to develop and to refine and finesse even further. So when you adopt a solution-focused approach, you're not reinventing what's not already in your skill set or in your business's wheelhouse. You're reimagining what is already within your business's strengths and capabilities. So build on your strengths, build on your talents to design effective, adaptable solutions for your clients. Number 3, plan for what we do know. I don't want to hear anyone else say, let's just wait and see what happens. Oh, you know what? Well, I'm just going to wait until this happens or that happens. You just got to make things happen. And although there's a lot of unknowns and uncertainties, and even myself, I have daily anxiety and question whether I'm making the right or the wrong decision every day, but at least I'm making a decision. At least I'm doing something. Because what we do know now, amidst all the uncertainty, is we know that social gatherings will continue to happen. They're not going to go away. We know that it's a fundamental, basic human need for us to gather and to connect. So events will come back. Change your mindset and celebrate the one thing, planners, that all of us event professionals wish we had for every single event that we've produced or been a part of: more time. So if you have the luxury of time right now and you have events postponed to late 2020 or late 2021, take advantage of the gift of time that you have and plan an even more outstanding event experience. No matter what's happening all around you, everybody, remain grounded, remain focused, keep your head still in the game, and keep moving forward. Pressure is a privilege. So I hope in me sharing some of those tips and just what has worked for me, there's one piece or one word, one thought that you can take away and do what you need to do right now to make things happen. So I want to dive in. I know there's some comments here. Love, yes, shout out to Ilea, of course, Courtney, Clayton, oh my goodness, this is my old high school pal, Holy Trinity, who is watching. Thank you so much, Clayton. I love seeing the photos of your family. Barbara, hi Barb, so nice to see you. Hope you and Bob are doing well. I'm getting distracted. Okay, topics to cover. So I'm going to dive in. I do have some questions that you sent in advance that I want to make sure that we cover. And if you have any other thoughts, burning questions about events, about, okay, well, that was all great, Rowena. What next? You know, those are great pieces, but what else can I do? Please go ahead and comment, and let's have some great dialogue right here. Thanks again for those of you who are here and tuning in. Means the world to me. Thank you so much. So for AV components, a few of you submitted a question about doing a deep dive. I'm not sure if Suzanne is on here, but this was one of her questions as well. People who have worked with me, I was having this conversation with an AV provider yesterday, and I feel like sometimes you avoid me. When you see me texting or calling or my email, I think you pause and say, oh gosh, crap, here she is. You know, and it's my brain. It doesn't stop. And sometimes, you know, what I'm thinking in my head, it seems impossible. But that's what we do. That's what we do as event professionals. We make the impossible not just possible, but we make them a reality. We make them tangible. And what I love about our community here and the people that we've surrounded ourselves at Planet Sound is whatever idea I present, at first they're like, oh, great. Okay. You know, I don't want to swear on here, but usually it's some sort of profanity. And then once we get over that and they're like, you're crazy, this is zany, I don't know how we can do that. We're like, okay, what's step one? What do we need to do? So with AV components, you know, when it comes to coming up, you know, when I have this concept of an event design or a theme, I've got my go-to creative team to work through that and to activate that. And that is Sean. I don't know if you're on here with Elemental Interior Design. He is magic. And I love working with him. If Justin is on here, can I see you, Justin? Can you talk about maybe a bit of our experience and what are the steps that it looks like? You know, I don't want to speak on behalf of our AV companies, but if I need to, I will. But Justin, if you're on here, can you share when I come to you and present an outlandish idea and you run away at first and then you eventually come back? What does our creative process look like? How do we make, you know, some of the galas that we've been a part of and events? How do we make a vision when I come to you come to reality? Everybody, if we can give Justin a few moments. If he's going to respond, maybe he had to step away. He's doing homeschooling like many of us parents here. Oh, here he is. Hey, Justin, did you hear the question? He's from Invert 720 Productions. Hi, Sean. Yes, thank you for being here. So, yeah, when you know, I think one of the pieces when it comes to, okay, we've got this vision for this event. This is the event theme, the design. How do we make this? How do we transition this through audiovisual and through lighting? And it really comes down to the planning. It comes down to, okay, sorry guys. It says, we just start to GSD. You come to us with a vision. That's right. You know, I think that's it. You know, it comes down to having a really clear, thoughtful plan that you put in front of your team, you put in front of your AV company, and budget, you know, especially because we produce a lot of charitable events. Budget is also top of mind. So we usually divide them into 3 categories. The wish, you know, the luxury, the high end. What's the in between? What's the middle ground, you know, in producing this outstanding event experience? And then the third is kind of like the basic. Where can we still achieve that vision, but really be economical about it? And once we break out that plan, the next piece, which people know me for, is sponsorship and in kind. I come to you, we reach out to our relationships, and we see who can give. You know, as creatives, we all want to give what we can. As long as we can still have and put food on the table, we're good to go. But yes, you know, it's all about coming with a really clear vision, being realistic and managing not only your own creative expectations and your teams, but your clients, and saying, you know what, I love that idea, that's great, but if we can't do that, if there's no resources, there's no budget, or you know what, maybe that's just not something that we can do for whatever the reason may be, here's another option, here's another option. It's our job to come up with alternate contingency plans and alternate options for our clients. And then, yes, you go back and find out what the requirements are. What are the current technologies available and what are the limitations? Absolutely. But I also like to see the limitless piece too. What are the opportunities that come out of that? We have, I don't know if Elizabeth is on here, we had a few of the foundations ask, now that lots of events are going virtual, what are some creative ideas for sponsorship incorporation and recognition in virtual events? One of the things that I've been telling all my colleagues, my team, and also my clients is the sponsorship rules, they haven't changed. The best practices, they haven't changed just because we've gone temporarily from in-person social events and social gatherings to now virtual. Sponsorship is still the same. You still need to offer a customized sponsorship opportunity and benefits to those prospective sponsors, businesses, corporations. You still need to show strong value and return on investment. The major difference is us repositioning our mindset and our approach from an in-person gala or event to a virtual experience. So some examples that I can share with you that we've done is, I always call NASCARing it. Lots of the galas I'm sure that you're part of, that have been a part of with me, is, you get the sponsorship package and it seems like everything has some sort of a investment opportunity, whether it's the appetizer, the entertainment sponsor, the presenting sponsor, the champagne sponsor, the art installation. And when you go to a virtual event, it's a similar approach. I feel that you have more opportunity to be creative. I feel like that you have more opportunity to be innovative. So for example, we had one sponsor who was really into the communications of a virtual event and how can we maximize interaction between all the delegates and attendees. And so what we did is we customized the chat room that was branded to that business's, their company logo, their branding. And then every person who entered that chat room would receive an automated welcome message that was crafted and curated by that prospective sponsor. So you would go into the Creative Hive chat room and the Creative Hive would welcome you. And perhaps there is a function in there where you could have fireworks and, confetti spray, every time people come in. So that's one thing that we've done. We've also done things right now, data. We have one of our sponsors with an upcoming virtual event where data management and data collection was really interesting to this client. And of course, working through FOIP and confidentiality, all that good stuff, we came up with a sponsorship investment for this virtual event where they would own the registration page. So when they landed on there, again, their primary real estate would be this corporate sponsor. They would have their logo, their branding, again, a crafted message. Usually it's a why. Why was it? What's the reason that they're sponsoring this particular event, this particular charity fundraiser? What is their why? People like to know the reason you're invested. They want to know why you're involved. So we've done that. Right now we're working with a client who's got an event in the fall, and we're figuring out what the tangible pieces will be and their party in a box, I'll say. And, there's really cool opportunities. You're seeing it pop up now. All of us are getting invitations to different galas and different events. When you're getting those invitations, also as a tip, which I'm sure many of you do already, do your research. So all the invites that you're getting, follow them. If you can buy a ticket and check it out so you can learn from what they're doing with marketing, learn what they're doing with sponsorship, how are they incorporating recognition, what kind of unique benefits and offerings are they providing, and build, take those ideas and build them, make them your own, and make them customized to your event or to your client experience. It's a lot of, those of us in the events industry who are passionate about the work that we do. The pre-production includes a lot of research as well. There's a big education and learning curve when you're producing a show, when you're cultivating a thoughtful sponsorship strategy for your clients. Other questions here that are coming in. Oh, thank you so much, Courtney. With a great pause on events right now, here's a few, this came in as well. How can we create new opportunities to collaborate and tap into this new normal until we can have mass gatherings again? Oh, I miss my community too. I miss all of you very, very much. I think right now, the biggest thing, and I mentioned this a little earlier in this Facebook Live, is reach out to people. reach out to the creatives that you love working with. Reach out to the creatives or people that you've always wanted to work with, and schedule a Zoom call, schedule a Google Hangout, and brainstorm. Do a check-in, do a bit of a huddle, and see how people's hearts are, see how people are doing. And from there, dream big. You know, all those big ideas that we put away, and it's like, you know, coulda, woulda, shoulda. When I have time, I'm going to work and I'm going to build on that new event, that new idea. I'm going to bring something cool to the events landscape. Now is the time to do that. And I was talking to another planner. She lives in Fort McMurray. And I said, you know, how are you doing? You know, because as creatives, as event professionals, this is not just a job for us. You know, this is what gets us going. This is what feeds our soul. You know, creating is what fulfills us. It fills our cup. And so she was telling me that she had, you know, of course, all of us have been deep cleaning our houses and tidying and organizing. And she said, instead of getting rid of all these boxes, she had these moving boxes. She finally decluttered. I think it was her garage or something. And she took those boxes and built an art installation out of them. And she used things from home. And she's like, I just had to get it out of my system. And so even that, everybody, you know, even if there's things, I know I've got 2 little ones, you know, there's lots of opportunity for me as a parent to get creative with crafts, to get creative in how we're doing their homework. Do the same thing. Reach out to your creative community and your colleagues and create a project. You know, we all need that stimulation right now. We need to be ready and prepared. Once we're post-pandemic, events will come back. You know, I think it'll be a slow trajectory, and that's okay, but they will come back. So let's be ready for that. Let's use this time and use this white space to fuel our creative potential. There was another question on here. I was hoping that we would have some venues, but he had something come up. I had, you know, was having some dialogue in preparation for this Facebook Live about, you know, what's it going to look like for corporate events? What can we expect in 2021? Is there going to be a cap on attendance numbers? You know, what's that going to look like? I feel right now we all have our dates, our Monday to Friday. We've got our 3:30 dates with Dr. Dina Hinshaw. We just need to continue to keep each other informed. We need to making sure also, I'm thinking of you, Barb, if you're still on here, we need to keep each other informed through the right sources. You know, making sure that we're fact checking the information that we're getting about COVID-19 and this pandemic, and just talking to each other, you know, and I think seeing what they're doing in other provinces, in BC and Saskatchewan. I know there's been discussions. I don't know if they've happened yet. I need to look into that. If they've been starting to lift some of their regulations. I know that the NBA, I think someone was mentioning they may start training camps. Someone was telling me that. Again, I need to do my fact checking to see if that's accurate. So I feel like it's going to be a slow re-entry, and that was Renee's question. I think it's going to be a slow re-entry back into events, and that's okay, because we can just have more of them. We can just have, you know, more smaller social gatherings and events. And again, community, this is our opportunity to leverage our talents and to leverage our creative potential and be innovative and come up with solutions and to come up with events that are going to evolve with whatever the new restriction, whatever the evolving updates are going to be as we're living through this pandemic. Creativity and imagination, for me, that's what keeps me going. And without all of you here tuning in and supporting me and my business, without all of our clients who have said yes to my crazy ideas throughout this entire situation, this extraordinary time, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being there for me and our industry. You know, this is our time to pull together and to lift each other up. And I'm moved every day by the stories I hear of people just saying yes. You know, it's, you know, there was this post I saw of graduations, and you know, it's like, you know, I got to figure out something to do with my daughter. We don't know if we're going to have a high school graduation. what can we do? And it was amazing. I think the comments, I think I checked it at like 9 in the morning, and then by noon there was over 140 something comments as to, I'll donate AV, I'll donate food, I've got a dress, I can do photography, I can do video. People are willing to give and help you. We just gotta ask, and we just gotta put it out there. Oh, Gaz, you're most welcome about the sponsorship piece. Thank you. Okay, everybody, I want to see if there's anything else I've missed on there. Great questions. I want to be mindful of time and let everybody go. Thank you for watching the rebroadcast. We will wrap this up and we'll share it after this Facebook Live. So please, if you're watching it during the rebroadcast, please still comment. The Creative Hive and us would appreciate your thoughts, your ideas. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see how you're doing. And please give me a thumbs up if you've taken some goodness away from this. And thank you so much, Des and Mike, for having me. Again, Rowena Cui with Planet Sound, and thank you for sharing your morning with me. And you can find us, we're on Insta, Rowena Yang, and also Planet Sound. And my email is rowena@planetsound.com if you'd like to have an offline chat about anything under the sun in regards to events. The show must go on. Be well, take care of each other, be safe, and we will see and work together out. We'll make it to the other side of this, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.